How's it going, everybody? Today we are talking about Electroneum ETN. I can see how app-based mobile mining has a really significant place in the future when you consider how there's people in all across the world who are getting smartphones every single day. We're seeing more people using the internet. We're seeing different items going on online, not only smartphones but smart grills, smart cars, all these different things that have the capability to run apps. So when you consider the fact that cryptocurrency is basically a shift in paradigm where the public is really going to start to look at their activities using digital devices like phones and so forth, they're going to start reconsidering the way that they use these devices. And Electroneum is definitely one of those technologies that's positioning themselves in an interesting way, because who doesn't want to use an app on their phone to make money? It's pretty much a no-brainer. So when you consider the fact that Electroneum is designing itself for mass adoption, it has abilities to work on all different layers of society. So I'm fundamentally interested in seeing how Electroneum is going to move forward in terms of the development of the product and the possibilities that are in store for it. I think that there's a lot of things that can happen between now and the future, and certainly people, with what you see in the news lately regarding the public and how people are starting to reconsider the way that their data is being used, for example, it is fundamentally interesting to see how Electroneum has managed to really develop alongside the public consciousness and expand in a way. You see that Electroneum slides back to the top 100, and it is interesting to see how they've managed to move forward and all these different patents pending. It really is an interesting technology when you get down to the grassroots of it. And of course, I'm definitely interested in the privacy element of it. There's obviously something to be said on there. When I look at the list of technologies on here, I always have to think to myself, what are these cryptos actually going to be looking like in the real world? And I can imagine people using Electroneum in real time. I think that it is possible for people all around the world to pick up on this technology and so forth. And of course, I mean, we're looking at the market cap where it currently is at 398 billion. Certainly when it comes to the market cap, we were going through an interesting time where people were thinking that things were going to continue to go up, and a lot of over optimism. I've been ever since we were experiencing that sort of sideways movement for a little while, that healthy correction, I've sort of been having a bit. I mean, it's always, since those of us who've been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of years, we understand the volatile nature of it, and the fact that one day things can be going up and then one day things could be in the dirt, and you just have to basically leverage the way that you operate to go hand in hand with the technologies and so forth. And of course, information is definitely essential. So I definitely recommend that everybody go and follow Electroneum on their official Twitter and so forth. And obviously make sure that you connect with me on my Twitter. I'll actually be including a link to my Twitter on the description down below. So it'll actually be the first link in the description. You can connect with me. That's at CryptoTuber. And yeah, of course, it is interesting to see all the developments that have been happening involving Electroneum over these past time. And of course, I'll be including a link to this video down in the description below that basically goes into detail regarding Electroneum. This fine gentleman goes into a lot of detail regarding similar things that I've covered in this content, but of course expands upon them in ways that I found interesting. So you can go and look in the description for that. But you have to remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only, and of course I'm only sharing this video to share my opinion, and I'm interested in hearing anybody else's opinion as far as where we're going in the, but yeah, remember, I'm not your dad, so all that being said, take it for what it is. You have to make your own decisions, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not responsible for you, but this is a pretty standard disclaimer, and people are pretty used to hearing it at this point. I think the community on this channel in particular is pretty up to date regarding basic foundation knowledge. We're pretty knowledgeable over here, you guys. So yeah, but of course it is interesting to look at Bitcoin and what's been happening with it. And of course Bitcoin is still the #1, and of course it is still going to send a lot of influence on the rest of the technologies and the overall reputation of crypto. So definitely something to be taken into consideration in that regard. And actually, we're things are looking pretty interesting for Electroneum in that number 99 position. They've recently established themselves back within the top 100 cryptocurrencies, and I am one to believe that Electroneum has the potential to move themselves up much further beyond this 99 position. If I'm being 100%, I mean, according to my analysis, I believe that my understanding of Electroneum is fundamentally data driven, and I find that it's important to look at a ton of the different variables that come into these technologies, and especially when it comes to Electroneum, we could really be looking at one of the central cryptocurrencies of the future, one of the most really interesting technology, because when you think about the current state of affairs when it comes to everybody, and the fact that more and more people every single year get a smartphone, and the more people who are getting that simple, really simple to use technology that's never before been available to humanity, really. And now smart technology is slowly but surely, every single year there's more people with smartphones, and it's a crazy amount of computing power, and it's also just an unprecedented amount of potential when it comes to in leveraging that technology. And Electroneum is definitely one of those technologies as far as in the cryptocurrency space. They're really positioning themselves to take advantage of the fact that more and more people all across the world are getting on the internet, and every single year we see more and more people using the internet and getting involved. And so when it comes to cryptocurrency, as we continue to see crypto developing as a legitimate space, as it pretty much has been working its way into the public consciousness, and developing and so forth along the certain lines that are capable, people all around the world are using cryptocurrencies. And that's the beautiful thing, that it's people from anywhere in the world. Somebody in China could be sending Electroneum to somebody in Australia. And fundamentally, mobile mining is going to be playing a huge role, because it allows for everybody to take an involvement with this sort of leading edge paradigm shift that we're experiencing right now. And I mean, my opinion of Electroneum, I mean, obviously, it's not at its all-time highs, which is sort of, I mean, you could take that for what it is. That's, pretty interesting information. But I'm definitely, I mean, certainly I think that Electroneum does have the potential to revisit its all-time highs when you take into account all the developments that are in store for the technology, and of course the team that's working on it. I definitely think are a pack of winners. So definitely, Electroneum is moving forward at an interesting way, and as far as looking forward to like future technology and seeing how these things are going to be playing a huge role as we continue to move forward into the world of tomorrow, Electroneum is definitely looking pretty interesting on that account. And of course, it is important to remember how early in the game we are when it comes to cryptocurrency. These technologies have a lot of developing to go, and of course, the public consciousness has a lot of developing to happen alongside it. So, of course, it is very interesting to see how technologies like Electroneum have been basically going beyond the limitations of national borders, using the power of the internet and leveraging this possibility that's made it possible by cryptocurrency technology. And I think the potential of having anybody in the world using this technology is going to be a hallmark of the next generation, and the next couple of years that we see moving forward in front of us are going to be marked by this sort of technology, and using our phones in a way that's pretty much unprecedented to the current paradigm. So yeah, of course, it is interesting to see how this sort of thing's been developing. computing, and I think this will make a really big impact on the future as far as computing power and so forth. And of course, let me know what you think about this future paradigm shift happening right now in the comments down below. I'm always interested in hearing. And remember to subscribe to the channel and put on post notifications so we can boost this channel up in the Google algorithm. Have a good one.